So today I'm here with products that I'm getting rid of. Now I know what you're going to say as soon as you see some of these products. You just feature these in videos and you just use these palettes and said they were good palettes and pull them out if you have them or whatever. Listen, I just made a list of all of the products that I have, and I have over 100 eyeshadow palettes. Now nobody needs that many palettes, but I have that many palettes. I'm a collector. Let's move beyond all of that kind of stuff. But I do want to say that there are some that I just don't pull for ever. So I'm getting rid of them. I'm trying to do something and just make it a little bit easier on myself and get rid of some products, you know, where I can. So these are a few eyeshadow products that I'm getting rid of. Just going to jump in and we're going to get started. I'm trying to adjust the camera to make it like a good angle. Hopefully that works. I know there's a lot of stuff. This is all my makeup. This is some random stuff that I like, so let's just move beyond that. And I got my hair cut, so I got it re-dyed. I get balayage highlights throughout, and then I got it cut, and I did get the pink extensions for the breast cancer awareness. It's now November, but I'm still rocking it because there shouldn't be like a season that we do that for, bring awareness. It's always important. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I have is two products that I just used recently, and that's the ColourPop Alchemy set from ColourPop. Now I really do enjoy this, but to be honest, I don't really use it that much, and it's just time for me to move it out of my collection because it is older. This is probably from 2015, I want to say. So, I mean, it's 3 years old. They are more of like cream products. It's just time to move them out. So there's a cream shade that has a lot of glitters in it, a dark brown and a black. Honestly, I don't really ever use black eyeshadows, and I have a lot of dark brown shadows, so I don't really need that color either. Then there's a highlighter, blush, and bronzer. And to be honest, I do not use cream highlight, bronzer, and blush that much, so I'm just not really going to get a lot of use out of this. So I'm moving it out of my collection. Then I have my Pure Love Your Selfie palette. Again, this came out probably 2015-16, I want to say. I've had it ever since then, and honestly, it's probably just time to move it out of my collection. But it is a lot of nice neutrals, a bronzer, blush, and highlight. And although they are good, I do have the Afterglow highlighter somewhere else. And the bronzer is a little warm for me. Sorry, I have a hair on my shirt. The bronzer is a little warm for me. The blush is okay, but these are just okay neutrals, like they're good. This is a good palette if you're looking for a staple neutral palette and you're not too particular with your shadows. This is a really good one. I mean, honestly, I do love it, but I just have a lot more neutral palettes that I love more, so that's why I'm getting rid of this one. But as you can see, they are really pretty shadows. There's some deep plums over here, and there are nice transition shades. It is a really nice complete palette, but just because of the other palettes that I have in my collection, I'm going to be moving this one out. I have a couple mini palettes, so let's start with the Tarteless Tease palette. I really liked this because it was a nice travel palette, but again, it's just neutral. I don't use it that much. I don't gravitate towards it. I know there's kind of a glare. There is some plum shades in there, but if I'm going to be honest with myself, this is a really pretty little palette, but I never really go towards it. And if I'm going to use a mini palette, I'm more likely to go to the Naked Basic palettes because they're just like simple and they're all matte versus the shimmer. I don't ever really take this on trips. If I go, I usually take a bigger palette that I enjoy, so I'm getting rid of that one. And another Tarteist mini shadow palette I have is this Pro To Go. I have the Big Pro. This is nice, but it's not great. My purple shade shattered, so it's going to be kind of hard to show you without it going everywhere. But it has a nice collection of colors, but I just don't really gravitate towards warm tones that much. And I mean, they are really pretty, but I'm just not using it enough to keep it in my collection. I have other palettes that I like a lot more. I also have this No Photos Please palette from Makeup Revolution, and I do enjoy this palette, but to be honest with myself, I had to sit down and say, do I ever really use it? Now, it's full of dark gem tone, jewel tone shades, and it is really, really pretty, but it's all shimmer, which isn't a problem for me. I just, working in a school now, I've gone for more neutral looks, and I just don't get the use out of this like I was hoping. I think this was like $5 or $6. It's really cool. I love when palettes do that. But I don't need it, so I'm going to be moving that out of my collection. I have this Charlotte Tilbury Uptown Girl luxury palette, and it's one of her little quads. I despise this palette. So first of all, one of these is broken, and it just popped out. Second of all, this glitter topper shade is so annoying in my opinion. I just don't like it. It's too deep. It's like, listen, you can hear that the one's loose. The colors over here are too deep, and I just, for Charlotte Tilbury, you need to be way better than that quality. And I don't even know what to say. Just annoyed with it. Marc Jacobs Object of Desire. This is a nice little palette, but same as the Pure Love Your Selfie. It's a neutral palette that has a bronzer, blush, highlight, and then your neutral shades. And I just don't really ever gravitate towards this when I think, oh, what's that one neutral palette that I really love? It's never this one. And it was good. It got me some good looks, you know, ever since I purchased it a few years ago, but it's just not one that I want to keep in my collection. I don't get a lot of use out of it anymore. I have the bigger holiday palette, so that I'll be keeping. That's something that I'm definitely getting more use out of. And then the next two, you'll probably be pretty shocked. I have the Lorac Pro and the Lorac Pro 3. So the Pro I just used recently, and again, neutral palette, but is it the quality I like? Now, I do like Lorac shadows, but when it comes to comparing my neutral shadow palettes, this just doesn't one that I reach for all the time. It does have a nice selection of mattes on the top and then all shimmers on the bottom, but to be honest, I probably don't use these three shades here, so then that leaves this over here, and I don't think they're the best quality shadows that I've ever used, so that I'm getting rid of. And the 3 was so pretty. I got so excited for this. It had so much potential. I love how thin these palettes are. I wish all palettes were more like this, but okay. The top row is so pretty, so pigmented. The shades, I love this terracotta shade. It's like an orangey brown. I really love that, but the bottom shades just drive me nuts. So I was most excited for this medallion shade and then this light pewter, but neither one of them worked out like I wanted them to. They just don't perform very well on the eyes, and the ones over here, the lighter ones, they just don't have any pigment on the eyes. They don't have that shimmer that I want. So this for me was a fail, and I will be getting rid of those. The last couple palettes I have, the Smashbox Cover Shot. This is the Soft Light eyeshadow palette, and again, super neutral, not doing anything with this. I find that they're not even very pigmented. Now, when I put these on the eyes, they kind of come off as mattes. They're supposed to be shimmers, but they don't really appear as shimmers, and it's not the kind of look that I go for on a daily basis. And it's also, like I said before, if I'm going to pull for a mini palette like this, it's kind of just the base shades, it's going to be one of the Naked Basics palettes. So that just doesn't have a place in my collection anymore. The original Tarte Man Eater palette, super neutral but warm. I don't pull for these two bottom shades, so that leaves this quad up here and then these two. I just don't need that in my collection. I decided that this is one that super cool packaging, but I just don't get enough use out of it, so I'm going to move it out of my collection. And then the last one is this NYX Cosmic Metals. I like the idea of this, but I wasn't super impressed, and I have better quality of the same shades in other palettes. So it does have a nice mixture of gold, purple, you have a smoky plum up here, a more cranberry, kind of a coral there. some of them I'm just not gravitating towards those particular colors, and some of them I just don't like the pigment on. So I'm going to be moving that out of my collection. I overall haven't been a huge fan of NYX eyeshadows, so I'm not sure what you guys think of them, but yeah, I just haven't been a huge fan. So I kind of went through my palettes recently and did a little cleanup, not necessarily a declutter, because like I said, I had 100. What I get rid of? 12, 10. So it wasn't like anything I needed to film, but those are the ones that I'm getting rid of. So I thought I would update you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have these palettes and like them, because I don't know, like I said, I just don't find that I use them that often, so I should probably get rid of them. But that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoy your day, and let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!